Hello, my name is Amanda Hirschler. This is my oral presentation on the United States involvement and relationship with Palestine. This is the term paper that I worked on throughout this course for PS 625, Analyzing Anti-Americanism. I developed it, researched, and worked on it, and here are my findings and arguments. It is a complex issue that we are dealing with, this conflict between Palestine and Israel, and of course the United States' role in it. The United States has been prevalent as an intervention country. It comes into different situations, talks with other countries, and can be a mediator. There are many times where it looks like the conflict can be resolved, that there's going to be peace talks, that there's going to be negotiation, but each time, due to policies, due to the United States' self-interests, things don't work out the way they're planned. Some of these things that we're looking at can involve the very beginning of this conflict with the British Mandate, the United States not moving forward with their plan because of the French and English interests in colonizing the regions. This, of course, happened over 70 years ago. These refugees have been displaced for all of this time, developing their own families in war-torn areas and in areas that have had civil wars, especially Syria. But of course, we're focusing on the West Bank and the Gaza Strip and the violence that has occurred between Israel and Palestine in wanting this land, claiming this land that Palestinian territories believe that they have the right and claim to. Some opportunities where there could have been peace talks involved the scholar Dan Roth. I'm talking about the Madrid Peace Conference, how that was helping the United States relationship with Middle Eastern countries during the Clinton administration. Of course, coming into the next administration under George W. Bush, there was the Iraqi war. This war did not help things. This did not create a positive environment for these talks to happen. Other things that have jeopardized this in the past are the special relationship seen with Israel, especially with President Reagan, with President Nixon throughout time. There has been talk, even Janice and Terry discussing Obama's administration, how he wanted to have mediated talks, but this fell through due to claims of state, claims to land, and the freezes on that. We have looked at different policies in the past, of course, with the Reagan administration and the initiative. A lot of times it is the US working for their self-interests. Something that was very interesting in the methods of finding it, how academics have talked about this policy, involved the comparison with the Northern Ireland peace talks. So here the Clinton administration was able to talk to England and talk to the Irish Republican Army to develop a talk towards peace. The issue that we find, though, with wanting to have Israel and Palestine talk to each other is the distrust that Palestine feels towards the United States. The violence remains steady, and it's these people that are suffering. It is these refugees that are suffering. There are organizations, though, that have been bringing about awareness of these different types of conflicts, including the college universities in the United States with activism. Sophia Hill, Ella Ben Haggai, and Eileen L. Zerbriggen have talked about these as opportunities for awareness to people because this policy and conflict has been going on for so long of not being able to come to terms with everything kind of being stopped in its tracks. There needs to be a development of trust and peace between Palestine and the United States for these talks to move forward. Some other things that was a very interesting theory that I had in my findings is this idea that Sylvia Hasuna brings about of segregated landscape and how that hinders the talk. So this is segregated landscape between Israel and Palestine specifically. Physical borders like walls keep conversation from happening. There needs to be a deconstructing of these past narratives that allows people to realize that there is a common experience between them all and that everybody is suffering. It is through that you can look at these war-torn areas, see that there's a loss of identity in both people on Israel and Palestine side. So this is an interesting theory to think about, to bring about into foreign policy of the United States, how in our current administration under President Trump, there has been a lot of talks of borders and segregation that is not going to help peace talks, that is not going to help the relationships with other countries. With Palestine specifically, they need to be made comfortable and open to talks There's been recent cuts to the funds towards the United Nations and how they have helped these refugees, as well as the movement of the U.S. Embassy in Jerusalem. It looks like an Israel victory during this conflict, but apparently there is a peace plan in the coming future that they believe to have the part of neighborhoods be ruled by Palestine instead of East Jerusalem. So these are all perspectives going on in the Trump administration. These are all perspectives on what could possibly happen. But if we work to give financial aid to these war-torn areas, to these people, to make them feel that they have just the same amount of respect that Israel does, we could be moving towards progress. We could be moving towards peace talks. We could be moving towards negotiations, which could end the 70-year conflict. It's not easy. It's a very complex issue, but my hope is that through these talks, through the United States becoming aware of this issue, that these people can be returned to their land, can regain their sense of identity, and things will work out well. But this is all, of course, theorized, and we hope it'll happen. Thank you so much for your time. Once again, I'm Amanda Hirschler, and I appreciate it.